Be bold enough to express who you truly are, loving enough to listen and watch others be who they truly are, and confident and secure enough to allow others to have opinions that don't match yours. This, to me, is kindness. You're being kind to yourself by being true to who you are, but you're also being kind to others by allowing them to be themselves. And you're so secure in yourself that you don't need others to change for your comfort zone. So there's this interesting thing that you see happening right now where people want to be so unique and so different so they can draw attention, maybe go viral. You know, social media is a big thing, and just be that really unique person that has something different. But at the same time, people are kind of afraid to be more unique. So they copy trends and do a lot of, I guess, behaviors and lifestyle and way of speaking to kind of blend in and be accepted. Because ultimately, as humans, we're wired to want to belong and have connection. One of our greatest fears is being rejected and isolated and not belonging anywhere. It's a very depressing and hard thing. So we have these two extreme things happening, but like I said, while people are trying to be unique, they're kind of not. And then there's a saying, everything's already been said before, or you look through the history of fashion and all the trends, and we don't have any unique fashion trends coming out. They're all repeat. Like a lot of things are repeating themselves. There's not like true unique innovation maybe happening. Of course, if you go into the tech world, there's a lot of crazy new things happening with AI and whatever. But if we're just talking about human personality and who we are and how we show up, there's this extreme need to be unique, but an extreme fear of needing to belong. So what should we ultimately care about? I think it's cool to be unique, and I think it's cool to want to belong. I think just like everything in life, you have to ask yourself, what do I want to get out of life? Why am I doing what I'm doing? And is it getting me the results I am hoping for? And even when you desire something, I think you also have to go even deeper and ask, why do I desire that? Because sometimes it's just some kind of hardwiring or brainwashery that you've been exposed to. And when you start to ask those questions, you might find, oh, I don't actually care about that thing. It's just fulfilling a need, or a false way of fulfilling a need that I can actually get fulfilled in a better way now that I have this awareness. So let's say you want to belong, but you also want to be unique. Well, then you're going to have to be brave enough to completely be yourself so that you can attract your tribe and belong with the right people. Because if you are showing up in a way that you think will be accepted, then you will attract those type of people that appeal to that. But you might feel like you have abandoned yourself and you don't align with these people or feel fulfilled. So it takes a certain amount of bravery. But beyond being yourself, I like the idea better of creating yourself. Because what does be yourself even mean? Like, who are you? How do you know who you are? If I try to just be myself, I feel like I'm being whatever programming I've received up until this point. So whoever I was raised by, my parents, and then whatever I've been exposed to in good or bad relationships or friendships or work environments, it's been programming me to be a certain way. So being myself is just being who I was programmed to be up until this point. So why don't I create a version of myself that I would love to be? So instead of being yourself, create yourself. Envision, what do I want to be like? And start acting that way, picking up the habits of that person. And obviously it's going to take time, and you might have to do some deep digging and keep awareness around everything you're doing so you don't slip back into your old programming. But as you create this new version of yourself, you are going to get kickback. You're going to have friends who fall off, or family members, people who think you're acting very strange, or maybe they decide they don't like you now. And you have to have tough enough skin to just be okay with that and realize, okay, I can still be kind to these people, even though they don't like me now, and I can just go about my business and my life, continue to create my dream self, and you just allow those people to slip away. That's what happens. Some people just slip away quietly. Some people do it with a little bit of drama on their way out. But just remember to stay true to yourself and why you're doing this. Keep down the path that aligns with who you're trying to be now and developing that. And over time, as old people fall away, you may have a period of loneliness where you feel like there's nobody that you can really relate with. But the new people will come to fill the spaces of your old friends. And these new people will match the new version of you. And assuming you chose wisely and really reflected on who you want to become, you're going to love these people and it's going to be great. And sometimes we think we want things and we get to a destination and we maybe find out we don't care that much about whatever those things are. And the great news is you can continuously change your life. You can change who you are. You can rewire your brain. You're not permanently stuck anywhere. You're not permanently stuck in your job, in your romantic relationships, in your friendships, your financial state, whatever it is, you can decide to change it, whether you choose to just leave a situation completely or you decide to work on yourself and change who you are and watch the world change around you. I think that's the best method. When you change yourself, your external world changes. Because there's also the saying, if you leave because you don't like a situation, guess what? You take yourself wherever you go. So you're likely to create the same situation. That being said, sometimes when you work on yourself, you just have this extreme urge and knowing of, now that I'm a different person, I have to leave this situation. It makes no sense for me to be here. So everything just really comes back to intention and awareness, checking in, asking yourself deep questions. If you don't know how to ask yourself those questions, find people who do, find books, podcasts, YouTubes. There are so many great resources. But remember, you can be yourself or you can create yourself. You can be yourself or you can create yourself. Thanks for listening and painting alongside me. This painting is from a friendship series of paintings that I've been creating. And I really started to create this collection because I finally created myself to be the person that would attract the type of friendships I had been desiring. It took me a long time, but the more intentional I got, the more wonderful the people that started to surround me were and are. Please subscribe to my channel if you loved this type of content and would like to hear more.